So I started a new job about 6 months ago, a software engineering job. It's not completely new because I used to work at the same company before, and then I took a 1.5 year corporate break and then went back. So it's not a completely new job, but I'm calling it new because the people I work with are new, the landscape is new, my workflow is different. For example, one thing that's really different is I use generative AI a lot to help me code faster. That's just one thing that's different. And the main thing is that I'm different. My mindset towards corporate is a lot different. This is gonna be a little bit of a vlog video where I just share some of my learnings after 6 months at this new job. So let's get into the learnings. The first learning, and it took me probably too long to learn this, but I learned that when I simplify my life outside of work, it gets a lot easier to do my job. Before, what I used to do is I used to be signed up for so many things. Before I took the corporate break, I would do a lot of things at once. And I started getting better at this later, but it wasn't until I took a corporate break that I identified this as a problem of mine, the problem was that I didn't have very good macro focus in the past. So I would do a lot of different things. Taking guitar lessons, I'd be trying to learn languages, I'd also be in tennis leagues. I remember one time I was taking karate at one point. I was doing all this on top of a software engineering job. I was leaving effort on the table. I started figuring this out towards the end where I started slowly taking more and more things off my plate and doing better at the few things that were on my plate. But after taking a corporate break and really getting to dive into a bunch of different interests, now that I'm back at corporate, I'm actually really trying to simplify my life. So right now, I am, it's work and family, and then I'm allowing for just one other thing outside of work. And for me right now, it's movement. I'm trying to move 1 to 4 hours a day. That's my focus right now. The only thing outside of work and family is just moving around. So that simplification has helped me so much. And there's probably people who can balance more, but I've learned with myself, it's so much easier. The only thing I need to do is move. I'm aiming at is moving. Having one thing that I'm doing outside of work has made it a lot easier, which brings me to the second takeaway, which is the more effort you put into corporate, the more enjoyable it is. In the past, I used to think that the thing that I had to enjoy had to be this cool thing like playing a guitar, but it can actually just be your corporate job. If you put a lot of time into it, you'll probably enjoy it more. So that's my second takeaway. My third takeaway is that coding with AI is awesome. Coding with generative AI, it's really nice because you can use these tools to generate a lot of the code for you. And obviously you're still reading every single line and making sure you understand what you're about to commit to the repo. But it allows you to go so much faster because you're spending less time trying to figure out syntax, you're spending less time writing, like the actual act of typing. You're able to focus on the larger concepts and just talk to this AI tool. And you're able to say, okay, can you write me something can you build me a function that does this? And then you can say, oh, actually the product requirements, I forgot to mention a product requirement. Can you include this? You say, I don't like how you did this. This doesn't seem that performant. And you can keep talking to this tool until the code looks like what you want it to, until the code gets to a quality level that meets your standards, and then you can commit it. So I think it's a great tool. I've been leaning into it and honestly been learning and producing a lot more because of this tool. And I mean, as a little aside, I still believe that coding is a really valuable skill. The tool can write a lot of the code for you, but if you don't know what you're reading and if you don't know what to ask for, you still can't build things as well. So I still think that there's plenty of space for engineers to find good work. That's just as an aside. So that's point number 3, is that coding with AI is really fun. And then lastly, point number 4 is it's really important for me to get some movement in throughout the workday. So obviously you guys can probably hear from this video, if you watch this far, you can hear that I'm trying to do really well at work. I'm really trying to become a lot better knowledge worker. And for a little while there, I was trying to just work all the time and then only at the end of the day go do my workout. And that really wasn't working out that well for me because I was sitting for 8-10 hours a day and then trying to move. It's too big of a contrast. So nowadays I try to move a little bit. It could even be just like jumping around, or sometimes I'll just jump rope for a little bit in the middle of the day, or pacing during some of the calls. Lately when I have one-on-ones with my manager, I just pace because Usually we're not actively like sharing our screens or anything like that. So anyway, that's the last thing, is that like getting some movement in during the day really helps for when I do work out after the workday. It's just a lot easier for me to work out because I feel as if my body's already warmed up. So anyway, that's the 4 things I've learned so far. I mean, it's not an exhaustive list, but it's 4 takeaways that I think are worth sharing. I hope these resonate with you or maybe help you. To recap them, let's see if I can remember them. First one is simplifying my life outside of work really helps me do my job better. Number 2, the more effort you put into something, the more you enjoy it. This doesn't just apply to things that are intrinsically fun like guitar. This also applies to something like corporate. 3, coding with AI is really fun and a game changer. And 4, getting some movement in during the workday or before the workday is really important. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a thumbs up, and I will talk to y'all on the next one.